this is not the type of video that I usually like to focus on. I have to be very honest. I have kept most of my videos positive and doing reviews and giving you guys ideas of places to visit here on the island of Aruba. But if you are planning this trip, you probably clicked on it on the video because of the title, and no, it's not clickbait. I think it's useful information that will help you be safer during your trip on Aruba. I think there are definitely some issues that we need to address. Some are very obvious, and some of them are probably for many of you obvious things, but I know that when you travel sometimes, especially to an island of Aruba, we have a reputation to be very, very safe, and actually we are a very safe island, but there are some dangers that need to that you need to keep in mind. I think that if this video can save one life or one bad experience, it would definitely be worth all of the views that I could ever get on YouTube. Without further ado, let's go. Yes, let's get this one out of the way. While testing is currently required before traveling to Aruba, the fact is that active cases constantly go up and down. Despite local efforts, your best bet is to take your own precautions by, for example, wearing a mask and being vaccinated. If you have seen some of my latest walk videos, you will realize that wearing a mask outside is not required. But I think being on a vacation, you should rather be safe than sorry, especially in the areas where the social distancing is not possible. You can find more information on the current active cases, latest decisions by the government, and entry requirements, etc. at the following websites. If you are a first-time visitor and are planning to rent a car, be aware that one of the things that may quickly shock you is how many roundabouts we have. You could say that apart from being a happy island, we are also a roundabout island. The first you will encounter is in front of the airport and is actually considered by many to be one of the most complicated. Nowadays, many of you will take the new double-lane Wativaz Boulevard to get to your hotel. Some tips that I can give you is to first look out for the big blue signs, which will indicate you the different areas that you can choose to go. And next, look out for the arrows painted on the road, which in turn will tell you which lane you need to be in, as not all roundabouts are the same. Once you are on a roundabout, you will have the right of way. So yes, if you are approaching roundabout, you have to always give way. Be worried that some locals are expert in driving around them, especially the larger ones. If you live in a country or area that doesn't have many of them, it will surely take you a bit to get used to, especially because there are different types and sizes of them. While locals will often be considerate with tourists in traffic, accidents do still happen, especially for overspeeding, so please keep that in mind. As logical as it may seem for some, others may overlook this one. No matter where you park, never leave your valuables in the car. I've been a victim of this during one of my travels abroad and know firsthand how bad it feels. Try to always park your vehicle where you can have a lookout for it or where there's a lot of people movement. Unfortunately, rental cars on Aruba are marked with a V license plate, which can make them an easy target. Maybe to a lesser extent dangerous, but our wind is very strong and will blow down your drink, trash, hats, or who knows, even your cash. Never underestimate it even when you are doing island tours. If you are asking yourself how strong the sun is in Aruba, being only 9 degrees north of the equator, let me tell you it's unmercifully strong. So you are now probably wondering how not to get sunburn in Aruba, right? Well, you will have to use a sunscreen lotion with high SPF of at least 30. SPF 30 means that only 1/30th of the burning radiation of the sun will eventually reach your skin. It's however important to note that since the year 2020, sunscreens that contain oxybenzone have been banned on Aruba.
Usually you would have to look out for those that are labeled reef safe, or to avoid it being confiscated by the local authorities, you can also simply wait to buy one in Aruba. Another way to not get sunburned is to wear long sleeve shirts, pants, sunglasses, and broad hats to cover up your skin. While Aruba does have jellyfish, it's fairly rare to hear that people got stung. It seems to usually only happen during the hurricane season when the wind and wave direction changes, and so it pushes them southward, but this is not always the case. While this is not a big problem, I thought to still include it in this list so you are aware of it.
Hey guys, I want to thank you to hang around till this part of the video. Please hang around till the end of it also, because I have a lot more information on the dangers of Aruba. In the meantime, if you haven't already done so, remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. Remember also to comment which one you think is the most dangerous, or if you have any questions about other things maybe that I have not talked about in this video. Without further ado, let's continue.
While snorkeling can be one of the most beautiful experiences during your stay on Aruba, there are important things we need to address. Usually, snorkeling itself poses no or very little danger, say because of the marine life, etc. However, when you are in the water, you may sometimes get distracted by things you see. This in turn may disorient you or simply have you venturing off to areas which may not be so safe. The biggest danger here are boats that may be passing by without seeing you. It's always good to come up every couple of minutes just to check if everything is okay. Even though you can hear the boats coming, sometimes it can be too late to get their attention or move yourself. There is no perfect way to avoid being run over by a boat, but the best is to stay in areas which are marked and designated for snorkeling, or in a worst case scenario, try to dive as quickly and as deep as you can. Above the water also has its dangers, and perhaps none bigger than riding a Waverunner. While it's regulated and accidents seldom happen, that doesn't mean that it can't be dangerous. Being a former owner myself, I know that there can be many ways that it can be dangerous and even life-threatening. The best way to ride is to avoid grouping together and avoid crazy riders. It's also important to constantly have a 360-degree view around you, especially when you plan to make a turn. Unlike a road, the other drivers can be coming at you from any angle. While I understand that you're on a vacation and want to enjoy it to the max, I think this is just as important as anything else. Yes, having a few drinks can be fun, but you have to remember that you are in a different country with different laws and things can simply go wrong. The best thing is to know when to say when. If you plan to go out and drink, take a taxi instead of your rental car, or better yet, drink at your hotel's bar so you won't have to drive. If you're in a group, have a designated driver for the safety of everyone else. Needless to say, but never ever show up drunk for your flight or you will be denied boarding. Unless of course you don't want to leave Aruba, but don't tell anyone I told you that. This is another rare one. But if you plan to go out for a hike or simply plan to be in Aruba's countryside, we have an endemic venomous rattlesnake you may want to watch out for. While it is said that it can be deadly, I have personally never heard of anyone actually dying from a bite. However, if you are bit, make sure to go to the hospital in an hour or less. While they may look intimidating for some, they are usually shy unless they feel threatened. While very popular with our visitors, these vehicles can end up being very dangerous. Of course, as with many things, it will depend on your own judgment and abilities. Due to the adrenaline, it often causes even the most conservative of drivers to sometimes start to think they are Evel Knievel. There have been many accidents over the years, so if you truly think that you are going to be a safe and decent drivers, yes, sure, go for it. Otherwise, please skip it. By the way, remember to also respect your tour guide, company rules, road laws, and last but not least, our flora and fauna. The North and South Coast. My best recommendation is to keep your swimming on the south and southwest part of the island and admire the true force of nature on the north side, but from a distance. In other words, no swimming on the north side. Yes, even in recent times there have been drownings here. This to me is the most underestimated danger that exists in Aruba. The undertow, sharp rocks, and large waves are certainly a deadly combination that you should not challenge.
So I am standing here at the western part of the island of Aruba. Now it's western, west-north, and you can see the waves coming that are pretty big, as I told you in the previous part of this video. And now this is like the westernmost tip, and if you start looking on this side, you will notice that the ocean, not the beach, but the ocean is definitely a lot calmer than on this side, which is the north side. West, north. And so in that direction is where I was showing you the other cliffs. This is definitely dangerous. I have seen people do some like surfing over here, but those guys know what they're doing. And even so, you never really know, because I have heard of many cases in other countries where they go out to surf and they cannot handle the waves. I haven't heard that in Aruba. I don't think I've ever heard of that, but it could always happen one day. So if you're not into that, and certainly over here with the rocks and everything, so sometimes it's not just the water, but there may be rocks beneath, and you could hit or like cut yourself really good and be in trouble very quickly. When the fishing boats pass here, they'll pass quite a bit outside to avoid these rocks that you're seeing around this area.
I truly hope that the information provided can be of great value to you. None of it is intended to scare you in visiting Aruba, but to the contrary, to make you more confident and prepared for your trip. I'm sure that several of them can also be applied for any other trip elsewhere you may be planning to make. If you have other tips you would like to share with our fellow viewers, please leave them in the comments. Otherwise, leave your question below and I will do my best to answer them. Before I leave, let me remind you that as a local Aruban vlogger, I have many more videos in my library for you to check out before your trip. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and giving it a like, because it helps the algorithm so others can find it too. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one. Bye bye guys.